Hello, Midnight Mayhem viewers. It is I, the perfect one, picture perfect Xavier Rush. Now, I'm here in Wilmington, North Carolina to show you a little bit about the day in the life. Beast, you are in perfection personified's way. Please exit the walkway.
You just got served.
Oh, perfection.
Oh my! Broke the table in half! I will do. My God! Look at that! You always get that in a live event. Oh, devastating suplex. Oh, this could be bedlam here in the arena. Oh my God!
Close your eyes. Mothers, send your children to their rooms.
Here we go. Oh my God, look at this. The money clip out of nowhere.
Welcome to Midnight Mayhem, a little bit different kind of style of Midnight Mayhem tonight. We have got two matches that we will be highlighting. We will not be showing the full matches because we have a lot to talk about tonight. Tonight on Midnight Mayhem, we have got the one and only Muscle Schultz and Big Country Blake Barnes. Together, they are Southern Comfort. Tonight, they will be taking on Evanly Divine and Jay Biggs. But that is not all. We have got highlights from Charlie Dreamer and Dave Dawson against Zane Dawson and Xavier Rush. That's all coming up.
Oh my! Broke the table in half. I will do. My God! Look at that! You always get that in a live event. Oh, devastating suplex. Oh, this could be bedlam here in the arena.
Welcome back, welcome back. Muscle Shoals, Blake Barnes. They are taking on Evan Lee Devine and Jay Biggs. Folks, this matchup had no rules. It was at the Civvytown Fire Department. And now if you saw earlier during the commercial break, we have a huge show coming up next Saturday, February the 9th. At the Civvytown Fire Department, we have got Charlie Dreamer taking on the WCW legend, George South. George South is not only from WCW. If you remember, George South has wrestled all over America, and in fact, when Ric Flair wanted his son Reed to come out and become a professional wrestler, the only person he had in his mind to train Reed Flair was the one and only George South. Now that gives you an indication of how great of a wrestler George South is. Folks, this matchup is underway. Blake Barnes is looking at Evan Lee Devine right now. Big guillotine leg drop. The past few weeks here on Midnight Mayhem, I have talked about how I have got a big announcement. Well, let me be the first to tell you that Midnight Mayhem has been hired as the official videography crew for the 6th annual Anderson Brothers Classic. In the next couple weeks, we're going to be showing you matches from the 6th annual Anderson Brothers Classic. That's got the likes of Brad Anderson, the Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, Charlie Dreamer, Lewis Moore. And you know what? It's even got the Rock and Roll Express, the Barbarian, and I might get an interview with Ole Anderson, if you've ever heard of the Four Horsemen. That is one of the big announcements coming up. Fantastic, fantastic news for Midnight Mayhem. I'm excited for these next few weeks on Midnight Mayhem. And also, the TV taping February 9th at Civvytown Fire Department for the ACPW Heavyweight Championship. Zane Dawson takes on Dave Dawson. That blood feud has been brewing here on Midnight Mayhem week after week. Blake Martin, big shoulder block. Blake Barnes going to the corner. Evan Lee Devine trying to get out of the way, but Blake Barnes too smart for him right there. You don't keep a good Southern boy down right there. Blake, Big Country going up. And Big Country's taking it to Evan Lee Devine. Now, folks, we're going to see some weapons be implemented into this matchup as you see Jay Biggs with that baseball bat. Folks, this matchup has no rules. It's Civvytown rules, and, you know, there's no rules in Civvytown, folks. And it looks like Muscle Shoals taking it to Evan Lee Devine, throwing him off, and a big clothesline. Devine taking it down, and it looks like What is Jay Biggs having? It looks like a Polaroid camera, perhaps Harold Britt's Polaroid camera being used in this matchup. And Muscle Shoals taking the baseball bat, choking out Evan Lee Devine. Interesting stuff here for Midnight Mayhem. Later on in tonight's episode, we have got a special matchup. I specially had to travel to Wilmington, North Carolina and go to another promotion to get. I had to go to this promotion and say, please let me get this for Midnight Mayhem. Xavier Rush teaming up with Zane Dawson, and they're taking on Charlie Dreamer and the one and only Dave Dawson. That matchup is coming up. It's going to be highlights. I'm not going to be able to show you the whole matchup. There's some interesting stuff in that matchup. You're going to enjoy that, and that's coming up right after this match. Muscle Shoals still taking it to Evan Lee Devine. Muscle Shoals throwing Evan Lee Devine. Evan Lee Devine reversing it. Muscle Shoals taking steel to the face, and it looks like Evan Lee Devine's going to get the upper hand right here as he has that steel chair in his hands. Jay Biggs picking up the steel chair, and he looks like he's going to get in here. And folks, it's going to be metal on metal right here. Blake, looking like old Ty Cobb right there with that baseball bat. Gonna call out his shot, and folks, it's 2 against 1, but I don't know whose side I'm agreeing with right here. Big Country getting hit in the legs, and it looks like Evan Lee Devine is showing a little quarter right here, but it looks like Jay Biggs is not. Jay Biggs gonna do something. Oh, Muscle Shoals getting beamed by the baseball bat. Folks, this is madness here on Midnight Mayhem. Interesting stuff. Now, folks, if you want to see this live, this is why I'm showing you part of this matchup. I'm not showing you this whole matchup, but I'm showing you part of this matchup because This is the kind of experience you get here at Midnight Mayhem taping. You get wild encounters up close and live. You get to see Muscle Shoals being hit in the head by a belt. You get to see Muscle Shoals get whipped around by a belt by Heavenly Divine. Folks, you get to see some interesting things, some great life experience. And that's only if you come to Midnight Mayhem Live. And that'll be next weekend, February the 9th at Civitan Fire Department. It's a very, very interesting show. I can't wait. Literally, I cannot wait to see George South take on our heart and soul, Charlie Dreamer. A big, big matchup. I cannot believe that we have that booked for next weekend, and you don't want to miss it. Children, bring your kids, bring your wife, bring everybody. You know that the Civitan Fire Department will be rocking with Midnight Mayhem. Speaking of rocking, Muscle Shoals slamming the chair on the back of Heavenly Divine and just beating him like he stole something with that belt. Muscle Shoals stealing something from Harold Britt and using another belt. It looks like Harold Britt's the armory tonight here on Midnight Mayhem, providing all these weapons. This matchup was a bring your own weapons match. And Heavenly Divine is not very happy with the results of some of these weapons. Heavenly Divine getting back to his feet. Looks like he's got one of the belts now. And a big, big right hand to the face of Muscle Shoals. Folks, I can't stress this enough. In the next coming weeks when we have the Anderson Brothers Classics, look at this, getting the garbage dumped on him, and Muscle Shoals is feeling a little white trash, if you know what I mean. He is taking it to the double wide right here, and then he uses it as a weapon and throwing it around. Muscle Shoals, we see it every time Muscle Shoals comes on Midnight Mayhem. He is not what you call a technical wrestler. He is not a scientific wrestler. Muscle Shoals is a straight up brawler. He's got a football. My God, he had a football. Muscle Shoals is not a man that you want to mess with when there's any kind of sharp objects around. Muscle Shoals can use them to his advantage. Look, he's using the bleachers. These fans are getting up close and personal because they decided to come out and see this event live. And you can too, February the 9th, next weekend. Folks, it's some of the cheapest entertainment that you can see. For less than a movie, for you and your family, going to the movie theaters, you can see all this stuff live and in person. February the 9th at the Civitan Fire Department. I know you want to go. I am so excited for this. Look at Muscle Shoals just wandering around. Oh, man. Heavenly Divine hitting a soda on his face. Hopefully that was diet because, you know, that gets really sticky. No. Heavenly Divine, full flavor man. Full flavor man. Big hit to the gut. Folks, amazing matchup here. It's Bedlam in the Midnight Mayhem Arena right now. Bedlam here in Civitan. Heavenly Divine is getting destroyed here. Jay Biggs is getting destroyed in the ring. Big Country's getting destroyed in the ring. Muscle Shoals is getting destroyed outside the ring. Folks, I don't know what's going on here, but it's interesting to watch. Look at Muscle Shoals grabbing this table. Oh man, hitting Heavenly Divine with that. Excuse me, that's not a table, that's a door. Folks, this is the kind of wild excitement you will see when you come see us live. Oh God, what is that? He's got something he's beating Heavenly Divine with. Folks, we're gonna have to end this matchup on air. If you want to see the ending of this, go to a live event coming up next. We've got a great matchup. Stay tuned.
Bedlam here
Welcome back to Midnight Mayhem. Folks, I am giving you a taste of what's to come in the coming weeks and months and possibly years here on Midnight Mayhem. You see that man right there, the heavyweight championship. The Midnight Mayhem heavyweight champion, Zane Dawson.
I look real good.
And the most beautiful man here on Midnight Mayhem, Xavier Rush. These two are teaming up, the most diabolical team that I can think of. And they are taking on Charlie Dreamer and Dave Dawson. Now, folks, this was a 4 tag team match. There was 4 tag teams in this match. Thanks to UPWA, I was able to come in, get some video of this, and I'm showing you the highlights right now. Xavier Rush, Zane Dawson. Look at that beautiful belt right there, folks. That's the belt that you're going to see. He says you're never going to get this. He's talking to his brother. Xavier Rush, the most beautiful man in Midnight Mayhem. Thank you, UPWA. Donnie, you are the man. Thank you for letting us get this video. Now, folks, and of course, Harold Britt, the man that's at every Midnight Mayhem event, the #1 fan of Midnight Mayhem, Harold Britt, the raging redneck. Now, folks, this is a precursor, perhaps. You see Charlie Dreamer, Dave Dawson, 2 of the biggest fan favorites on our show. These 2 men have a lot of history with the 2 men in the ring. Zane Dawson hating his brother, Dave Dawson. The blood feud spilling over into all forms of life for these 2. And Xavier Rush and Charlie Dreamer, 2 men that also hate each other. An interesting dynamic that's going to happen in this ring. These 4 men absolutely hate each other. Charlie Dreamer surveying what's ahead of him right now, trying to think of a game plan. What can I do to make sure that I walk out of this arena with the W and also my life? And hopefully I can walk by the end of this, because these 2 men that I am taking on are 2 of the toughest men in Midnight Mayhem. And you see that belt right there? That belt is not won easily. Believe me. If that belt was won easily, folks, we wouldn't have had the likes of Casey McKnight wearing that belt, and the man right there, Zane Dawson, that had to beat Casey McKnight for that belt. Those are 2 of the toughest wrestlers we have ever had on Midnight Mayhem. Look at this, too. Now, folks, this matchup is underway, but as you can tell, these 2 don't want to wrestle. They just want to beat the snot out of each other. Zane Dawson with a big boot to the face of his little brother, Dave. And look at Zane Dawson just going straight from Dave to the crowd. He doesn't like anybody except for himself, and it looks like Zane Dawson's going to go for the lariat very early in this matchup. But Dave Dawson, knowing his brother, knowing him step for step, big back elbow from Dave. Dave throwing Zane off the ropes. Zane Dawson going up and over, swing and a miss, and a big drop kick by Dave. Dave is going for the cover. 1, 2. Broken up by Xavier Rush. Xavier Rush knows that he wants to get his hands on the beautiful blonde locks of Charlie Dreamer. Here comes Charlie. Charlie Dreamer up top. Charlie Dreamer with a big elbow. And folks, this matchup had a lot of potential. Now, we're just showing you highlights. I'm not showing you this full matchup. I want you to get the gist of the hatred between these 4 men. Look at Xavier Rush finally getting his hands on Charlie Dreamer. Now, folks, if you want to see what happens between these 2 men, I'm just giving you the taste right now. You're going to have to come out February 9th at the Civitan Fire Department to see what happens between Zane and what happens between Dave. Charlie Dreamer will be taking on George South, but I guarantee you Xavier Rush is going to have his hand in that matchup as well. If you want to see what happens before we air it on television, I know you do, February 9th. Look at Xavier Rush just taking it to Charlie Dreamer's knee and leg. Xavier not showing any kind of remorse for the pain that he's putting Charlie Dreamer in, the heart and soul of Midnight Mayhem, not showing any remorse for that pain he is putting on that beautiful face. Charlie Dreamer trying to fight to his feet right now, trying to get out of that hold, trying to go anyway, touching the hair of Xavier Rush. Perhaps that hair is the Achilles heel of that man. Xavier Rush getting up. Charlie Dreamer getting up. And Xavier Rush, not much time to recuperate there, just going straight back to Charlie Dreamer, and then he grabs him by the leg right here, trying to rip the meniscus of Charlie Dreamer. Referee telling him, Xavier, that's not how we do it here in professional wrestling. That's bending the rules. Xavier Rush going to tag in his partner right now, the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion right here, the Midnight Mayhem heavyweight champion, excuse me, Zane Dawson. And Zane Dawson shows no remorse, just stomping a mud hole, but I'm sure that he wants that boy standing right across the ring, that boy, the brother of Zane Dawson. He wants to be having his hands on Dave Dawson right now. Look at him, just staring down his brother. Now, by no means is Dave a boy. Excuse me for saying that. Dave is a mountain of a man.
Like the real old days back in the day. I used to watch.
Look at Zane Dawson just ripping at the leg. When Zane Dawson smells blood in the water, he's like a shark. He's going straight for that leg that Charlie Dreamers had worked on by Xavier Rush. Xavier Rush is picking apart Charlie Dreamers. Then Zane comes into the ring, starts to pick apart Charlie. Charlie trying to his damnedest to get to the ropes to stop this matchup. But he lets Xavier Rush come back into this matchup. And look at Xavier Rush hammering down that knee onto Charlie Dreamer's leg and meniscus and ACL. Folks, not many of you may know this, but I played college football, and I hurt my knee. I had meniscus tear, and it was some of the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. It was terrible, and Xavier Rush is just reveling in the fact that he could make Charlie Dreamer squeal in that ring. Look at Dave Dawson trying to protect his kin in the ring right there, but it looks like Zane Dawson, the evil twin of Dave Dawson, helping out Xavier Rush apply more pressure to Charlie Dreamer's leg. Look at that. Charlie Dreamer is in a very, very bad position right here. And now this is like I said earlier, this matchup had 4 tag teams in it. This is another tag team, the Young Bloods, coming into this matchup. Charlie Dreamer getting worked on by the Young Bloods. Young Bloods, an interesting fact, these men have been trained by the Gorilla Squad. Ali Steele has shown these men how to wrestle. You see, the world of independent professional wrestling, very tight-knit, very small world. And look at Charlie Dreamer, feeling that pain and agony. How ironic, the Gorilla Squad, pain and agony. And it looks like he's just ripping at that leg. He is working on it, picking up Charlie Dreamer by the knee, putting all that pressure onto that knee. And there you go, Dave Dawson saving his tag team partner and buddy, Charlie Dreamer. And here comes Zane Dawson coming back into the ring with his hands on Charlie Dreamer. Looks like Zane Dawson. Now these two men have had some history. Charlie Dreamer able to squeak out of that hold right there. Looks like Charlie Dreamer going to tag Dave Dawson, excuse me. Making that big tag, and Dave Dawson finally getting his hands on that brother of his. And speaking of the brother, everybody else in this matchup. Dave Dawson excited right now. Dave Dawson going for Xavier Rush. Oh, big chest chop. Looks like Dave is gonna hold him. Throw him into the turnbuckle. Xavier Rush hitting Zane Dawson, Dave Dawson, grabbing his brother by the hair, throwing him outside the ring, and here comes Charlie Dreamer. Charlie Dreamer can't wait to get his hands on Xavier Rush. Interesting, look at this. These men do not care that there are any rules in this matchup. They just want to beat the snot out of each other. Xavier Rush, the prettiest man on Midnight Mayhem, a man jealous of the beautiful blonde locks of Charlie Dreamer. Dave Dawson, Zane Dawson, the two brothers here, Romulus and Remus. This is Cain and Abel. These two men hate each other just as much as those other two men, and they're taking this fight to the back. Folks, we're going to have to end it tonight. February the 9th, Civitytown Fire Department, I know you're going to be there. It's going to be great. Thank you for watching.